Welcome back. Developing this morning, the assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump has shocked the world. The FBI now investigating the shooting as a potential act of domestic terrorism.
So let's bring former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon in Palm Springs to discuss this. Bobby, great to have your insight here. We are obviously finding out more and more about the shooter, Thomas Crooks. But the first question I want to ask you, from a security issue, is how this young man with no real military experience was able to get within 150 metres of Trump on a roof with a rifle.
Yeah, that's the big question everybody wants to know here. And, you know, the only people that have that answer are the Secret Service. They are in charge of security at these events, and they coordinate with state and local officials in that area, but they are in overall charge and they determine what the plan is. They had an advance team go out in advance, maybe a week, maybe 10 days before, and scout the area with the local law enforcement in that area and come up with a plan. It seems that plan did not take into account that very rooftop that was very close and had a direct line of sight to the stage. And that's where the shooter chose opportunistically to perch himself when he took those shots.
I mean, there were people in the crowd yesterday who said they could see him crawling onto that roof, so it makes it extraordinary to think that the snipers up in the air couldn't see him making those moves in advance of pulling the trigger. Of course, now the FBI takes over from an investigation perspective. What exactly will they be focusing on at this point?
Well, today they did search warrants at his house, of his vehicle, and things like that. So they are gathering a ton of material. That material is broken up into electronic material, which our computer forensic people have to break down and analyze. They have to break into the phone, they have to get into his computers, and they have to do those deep dives into that electronic stuff. There's another team that's probably looking at any journals, any handwritten notes, any notebooks that were in his house, any reading material that he was reading. And they're working in conjunction with our profilers. So when people read certain types of things, you form a personality profile of them. So that's who's working. They also found possibly explosive material. He was building IEDs, improvised explosive devices. So we have our bomb technicians analyzing that material. So there's separate teams that are, you know, analyzing all these different types of materials. And then there's the lead investigating team is in the middle, and they'll take these analyses and they'll start to put all the pieces together.
So the FBI has announced that this is being treated as a potential act of domestic terrorism. So what is this going to mean for the Biden and Trump team as they're moving forward?
I mean, it won't mean as much because the perpetrator is deceased. So if he wasn't deceased, then there would be pretrial hearings. There would be like a lot more publicity around this person, giving them kind of a platform for whatever ideology they want to espouse. Now that the perpetrator is deceased, this really becomes kind of a tie up the loose ends thing. See if he was working with anybody, if he had the assistance of anybody, if he was a member of any group, even loosely affiliated group, that kind of thing. That's what they're going to look at now. There is no point of gathering evidence to try to convict someone who's already dead. So they're trying to look past him. Did he have any associates? Did he have any, you know, friends that he was allied with? And are they capable of carrying out another attack? Because we're just in the home stretch of our presidential election. It's from now to November. It's a horse race, and there's a lot of pressure, and there'll be a lot of these rallies and a lot of get-togethers and gatherings. And so if he was aligned with a group or even loosely with some other people that could pose the same type of danger, that's what the FBI is concerned with.
You know, when you look at the footage of security service agents surrounding former President Trump on the podium there's no denying their bravery in putting their own bodies on the line and protecting him in that moment. But there were clearly serious lapses in securing that site, in securing the perimeter in advance of the event. Do you have confidence, in your experience and your expertise, do you have confidence now in the security services moving forward around Trump and Biden as they go out to more rallies and events like this?
I do, for a couple of reasons. I think that the agents on the ground, that was his close and personal team. They've been with him actually since 2015 when he became a candidate. And then there was a president, and then all of our ex-presidents get security for life. So that's his team that's always with him. They basically live with him. By all accounts, he loves them and they love him. They got him on the ground quickly. They got him out of there. They were all friends. They're a tight group. They did their job very well. The counter sniper even executed his job very well. The minute that he started firing, he addressed the target and he killed the shooter fairly quickly. The problem is they didn't have enough counter snipers to control that thing, and they didn't control that rooftop to begin with. So I think this was a mistake in the planning of it. But the agents on the ground all performed excellently by the textbook. Now, what they're going to learn is you always learn lessons when something goes wrong like this to secure those roofs. They're going to try to account for what happened, why that roof wasn't secured, why it wasn't part of the plan. And that's what they've got to address. But so there's certain things going on that worked really well. And obviously there's a glaring mistake that was made. And that's what has to be addressed.
You're also seeing a tale of two candidates here. We're just seeing that footage there of President Trump, that sort of what's going to be seen around the world and it can be replayed over and over again of him bloodied with his fist in the air, shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." That's going to be very incendiary to his base, to his MAGA base, who will want some sort of retribution from this. Then you're going to have, the President Joe Biden in probably half an hour's time worldwide saying we need to have calm in this. This is going to be a tale of two campaigns moving forward here with a lot going on. Trump is going to be at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee soon. He will be named as the Republican nominee. He is going to appear. Is that going to be surprising? And, we also have to think about the loss of a citizen here. So the safety is going to be for everybody moving forward in the next, as you say, till November.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget the retired firefighter, husband and father of two little girls, who threw himself basically on top of his family to protect them and was killed in the process. He's an absolute hero for saving his family, but you have a wife woke up this morning without her husband and two little girls woke up without their dad. And so we always have to remember that and put that in the forefront of our minds. But yes, Trump will be at the convention this week. He will probably, as you say, most definitely be nominated and be the nominee. A lot of eyes are on him, on what his attitude's going to be. You're right. He's always been this fighter, this boisterous guy, this go out and get them. A lot of us hope he takes a more conciliatory tone this week. He doesn't have to do a victory lap. So I think, a lot of us are looking to him now and saying, can he change his stripes a little bit? Can he pull back on that thing a little bit and be a little more conciliatory to everybody? Because this is a time that we need people to come together and try to address these kind of problems, this kind of rhetoric that spurs these kind of people to carry out acts like was carried out.
It is a pivotal moment, isn't it? In so many ways. Former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon, we appreciate your insights this morning. Thanks for your time, and we'll bring that press conference from Joe Biden in the Oval Office as soon as it happens. Still to come, a Spanish sporting victory. Fans celebrate after Spain wins the Euros, and Alcaraz takes home the trophy at Wimbledon.